Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Gaia Sanctorum. This is Living the Wheel, where we follow the cycles of nature and cosmos and the wisdom of the five bodies to navigate our human experience with ancient knowledge and embodied practices. There is a solar eclipse coming on February 17th, and this week is your preparation. Let's talk about what you just ignited. Last week wasn't gentle. You moved from integration into activation. Mercury conjunct Venus aligned your mind and heart in Aquarius. You finally had words for what you actually think and value. All three personal planets sextiled Lilith in Scorpio, giving you permission to be wild and untamed and authentic. And then the double whammy, full moon in Leo and in bulk on February 1st, the fire festival, the quickening, the moment you claimed your sovereignty and lit your inner flame. If you did the work, if you tended your altar and spoke your truth to the fire and declared what wants to be born through you, you're not the same person that you were a week ago. But here's what I need you to understand. That fire you lit, eclipse season is about to test it. We're in the waning crescent, the darkest, most introspective phase of the moon, surrendering everything that's complete so that the new moon annular solar eclipse in Aquarius on February 17th can open its portal. This isn't just another new moon. This is a cosmic reset, a rebirth. And the astrology this week is setting the stage. The moon is releasing. The light is returning at Embodied. And three major transits this week are asking you to hold both of those truths at the same time. Leading into the eclipse, we're in the waning crescent, surrendering into darkness before the new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius on the 17th. The eclipse energy is already active. You are in the shadow period now. Pay attention to what's showing up. What exactly is falling away? What is being illuminated? Eclipses are fate accelerators. They collapse timelines. They bring sudden endings and unexpected beginnings. They reveal what's been hidden and they don't ask permission. But here's the beautiful paradox of this moment. We're also in the aftermath of Embodied. The light is quickening. Spring is stirring. So even as the moon wanes and surrenders, the sun is waking up. And this week's astrology mirrors that perfectly. Release and initiation happening at the same time. Before we get there, three major transits this week are going to be preparing you. On February 10th, Venus enters Pisces. Venus has been in Aquarius, intellectual, revolutionary, unconventional in love and values. On February 10th, Venus is going to shift into Pisces. That's her sign of exaltation, where she is most powerful. Venus in Pisces is unconditional love, compassion without boundaries, devotion, surrender, the disillusion of separation between self and others, self and divine. But here's the shadow. Pisces can also be martyrdom, losing yourself in others, spiritual bypassing, addiction to suffering for love. After all that Aquarius energy asking you to claim your authenticity, Venus in Pisces asks, can you love without losing yourself? Can you be devoted without becoming a martyr? This is especially important because Venus in Pisces is heading straight towards that eclipse. Your heart is part of what's going to be eclipsed and reborn. Now, on February 12th, Mercury will be conjunct the North Node in Pisces, and this is significant. The North Node represents your soul's evolutionary direction, where you're meant to grow, what you came here to develop. In Pisces, the North Node is calling you towards surrender and trust, spiritual connection, and universal love, dissolving rigid mental boundaries, faith over control. Now, when Mercury conjuncts the North Node, your mind, your voice, and your soul's purpose begin to align. Mercury is your thoughts, communication, how you process and share information. The North Node is your destiny. In Pisces, this conjunction says, speak your spiritual truth. Communicate what you know beyond logic. Your voice is meant to serve something greater than yourself. This is a major download moment. Pay attention to what comes through on February 12th in meditation, in dreams, journaling, conversations. Your soul is trying to tell you something about your purpose. And in the quiet surrender of the waning crescent, you might actually be still enough to hear it. Then on February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day, Saturn enters Aries. And this is huge. And the timing is kind of poetic. Saturn has been in Pisces since March of 2023. Transit of spiritual discipline, confronting delusion, taking responsibility for your boundaries or lack thereof, and learning that compassion doesn't mean enabling. On February 13th, Saturn enters Aries for the first time since 1999. Saturn is structure and discipline and responsibility, maturity, mastery through challenge. Aries is initiation and action and courage and independence, the warrior. So Saturn in Aries is about disciplined action instead of an impulsive reaction. It's about earned courage through facing your fears repeatedly. It's about structured independence, not running from commitment, but committing to yourself first. Also about mature masculinity, leadership that serves, strength that protects, fire that builds instead of burns. It's about the long game of self-assertion, learning to claim your space over years, not moments. Now, the shadow of this, Aries can be impatient, aggressive, self-centered. Saturn teaches through restriction and challenge. So Saturn in Aries is going to test your ability to lead yourself, to assert your boundaries, to take action from discipline instead of ego. And it's starting just before Valentine's Day, the cultural holiday of romantic love. Saturn in Aries says, before you can truly partner with another, you must master partnership with yourself. This is a 2+ year transit. It's not quick. But what you build during this time will have roots that go very, very deep. So what's happening this week? Venus in Pisces. On the 10th, your heart opens to unconditional love and spiritual devotion. Then on the 12th, when Mercury conjuncts the North Node in Pisces, your mind and your soul's purpose are going to align, and you're going to receive downloads about why you're here. And then on the 13th, when Saturn enters Aries, you're going to begin a 2+ year initiation into disciplined self-mastery and courageous action. And it's all happening in the waning crescent, the moon's surrender, right before the new moon annular solar eclipse. The moon is letting go. The sun is quickening, and you're being asked to hold both. This week is asking you to surrender what's complete, to listen to your soul, and to commit to the work so that when the eclipse hits, you're not just ready for the rebirth, you have already begun it. So let's talk about how this shows up in the body. Your physical body this week needs to hold two opposing energies: Piscean dissolution and Aries activation. Venus and Mercury in Pisces want you to soften, surrender, float. Saturn and Aries wants you to move, commit, build strength. Your body needs to be fluid enough to surrender and strong enough to act. And the waning crescent is asking your body to release what it no longer needs, clearing space for the physical rebirth that the eclipse is about to bring. So some foods that can kind of help you with that. First would be grilled fish with herbs and olive oil. Fish provides omega-3s that support nervous system flexibility and brain function, which is exactly what you need as Mercury moves through Pisces for spiritual downloads. Olive oil is deeply nourishing and very Mediterranean. You can grill salmon or sardines with herbs like oregano and thyme and drizzle it with a good olive oil and add sea salt. This meal is Piscean, fish from the ocean, but grounding enough for your body to hold the download. Next, I would recommend some white beans with rosemary and garlic. Rosemary is ruled by the sun and Mars. It's warming and stimulating. It supports circulation and mental clarity. As Saturn enters Aries, you need protein for building strength. And rosemary helps activate that Mars ruled warrior energy. Saute some white beans with garlic, fresh rosemary, olive oil, a squeeze of citrus. This is Saturn and Aries food, structured by the beans, but activated with the rosemary and garlic. And then, because it is still winter, a little bit, roasted root vegetables with sea salt, carrots, beets, turnips, parsnips, roasted in olive oil and sea salt. Root vegetables grow down into the earth, grounding that Pisces floaty energy into your physical form. The sea salt provides minerals that conduct spiritual energy through the body, which is critical for receiving downloads from Mercury conjunct the North Node. Now, this literally anchors the eclipse energy into your bones. Now, as far as herbs go, linden. Linden is a Venus herb that is both relaxing and heart opening. It's gentle and moistening and soothing, perfect for Venus and Pisces call to soften. Linden helps your nervous system relax without depleting you. It opens your heart without making you vulnerable. Taken as a tea or a tincture throughout the week, especially as Venus enters Pisces on the 10th. Next would be nettle, Urtica dioica. Nettle is Mars ruled but cooling. It strengthens without inflaming. As Saturn enters Aries, nettle provides minerals that your body needs to build strength and endurance. It is deeply nourishing. It supports adrenal function and it helps your physical body maintain boundaries while staying open. You can drink a nettle infusion daily or you can take it as a tincture. And then I would recommend ginger. Ginger is warming, stimulating, it gets stagnant energy moving. After Saturn enters Aries on the 13th, ginger's going to help your physical body shift from Piscean floating into Aries action. It supports digestion, circulation. It kindles your inner fire. You can make fresh ginger as a tea or cooked into meals. This is Mars ruled medicine for Saturn and Aries. Now, let's talk about some practices we can use this week. I highly recommend alternate yin and yang movement. Early in the week, Venus and Mercury in Pisces, practice yin, restorative yoga, gentle swimming if you have access, just floating in water. Yin yoga poses held for 3 to 5 minutes. Let your body be fluid and surrendered. And then after Saturn enters Aries on the 13th, you can shift into yang, strength training, push-ups, planks, vinyasa flow, running. Your physical body is learning to be both soft and strong this week. Cold water immersion. End your shower with 30 to 60 seconds of cold water, or if you have access, do a cold plunge. This practice builds nervous system resilience and teaches your body how to stay present under stress. This is exactly what you're going to need for eclipse season. It is also quintessential Saturn and Aries, choosing the hard thing because it makes you stronger. Also, grounding through your feet. If the weather permits, walk barefoot on the earth or stand barefoot for 5 minutes daily and feel your connection to the ground. Pisces wants to float away. Your feet are your anchor. Press all 4 corners of each foot into the earth. Bend your knees slightly. Breathe deeply. This practice grounds spiritual downloads into your physical form. Now, for the mental body, your mental body is going to be shifting from Aquarian clarity to Piscean knowing. The kind that doesn't come from logic, but from connection with something greater. Mercury conjunct the North Node on the 12th is a major download moment. Your soul is trying to communicate your purpose, but Pisces doesn't speak in bullet points. It speaks in symbols and feelings and visions and dreams. And then the waning crescent is the perfect container for that kind of receiving, the quietest, most surrendered moon phase. Your mental body doesn't need to really do anything this week. It needs to be still enough to hear. So some foods that will help with this. Tahini with honey drizzled on fruit. Honey has been sacred across cultures for millennia. It's the food of poets and prophets. Mercury in Pisces is the voice of the mystic, and honey literally sweetens your thoughts and words. Now, the tahini provides healthy fats for brain function and has a grounding quality. Drizzle tahini and raw honey over sliced apples or pears. This is food that supports intuitive knowing rather than rational thinking. Walnut butter with cacao and cardamom and rose. So walnuts are shaped like a brain and rich in omega-3s that support cognitive function. Cacao contains compounds that support serotonin production and mental clarity, and rose and cardamom are Venus herbs that facilitate the connection with Mercury energies. But this combination also supports the pleasure of thinking. Venus in Pisces wants beauty and enjoyment, not just function. Eat mindfully, taste each bite. This is mental body food that honors both brain health and a sensory experience. Also, lentil egg bites with mirepoix and cottage cheese. So simply blend cooked lentils with eggs, cottage cheese, some sauteed onion, carrots, and celery, and then herbs like thyme and oregano, and bake it in muffin tins. These provide sustained protein for the mental body, for clarity. The lentils are grounding. The mirepoix base is a classic Mediterranean vegetable foundation. And the cottage cheese adds extra protein to support cognitive function during Mercury's Pisces downloads. Make a batch at the start of the week as your eclipse preparation. It's practical Saturn and Aries meal prep that nourishes your mental body all the way through the 17th. Next, let's talk about some key herbs for the mental body. Blue vervain, Verbena hustata. Blue vervain is for those who need to release mental control and rigid thinking. It's cooling and calming to mental agitation and helps you stop trying to figure out what you should just be receiving. Pisces works through surrender, not analysis. Blue vervain helps your mental body stop spinning and just listen. Take it as a tea or as a tincture, especially on the 12th. And then lemon balm. Lemon balm is a nervine that is both calming and uplifting. It soothes anxiety without making you dull. It's Venus ruled and gentle with lemony brightness. And as your mental body processes spiritual information this week, lemon balm is going to keep you from getting too heavy or overwhelmed. You can take it as a cold infusion or as tea throughout the week. And then rosemary. Rosemary is for remembrance. It enhances memory and helps you retain the downloads coming through Mercury conjunct North Node. But it's also stimulating and clarifying, which helps you stay present and alert during meditation or dream work. Rosemary essential oil on your temples or fresh rosemary tea before a spiritual practice supports both memory and mental clarity. Now, on February 12th, I highly recommend doing some dream work. This is the night for soul downloads through dreams. Before bed, drink blue vervain or lemon balm tea. Place a journal and a pen beside your bed and speak out loud. Soul, what am I here to do? What is my purpose? When you wake, even in the middle of the night, write immediately before your rational mind starts to censor. Don't analyze it, just record it. The wisdom comes through the dream state when your mental body is not in control. The waning crescent is already thinning the veil, so let it. Next would be automatic writing. Set a timer for 10 minutes, put pen to paper and write without stopping, without thinking, without censoring. Let your hand move faster than your conscious mind can control. This practice bypasses your rational mental body and allows your soul the space to speak. If you do this, especially on February 12th, when Mercury conjuncts the North Node, you are creating a channel for destiny to communicate through. And contemplative walking. Take a 20 or 30-minute walk without headphones or your phone or any other distractions. Just walk and let your mind wander. Pisces and Mercury doesn't work through focused concentration. It works through receptive wandering. Notice what thoughts arise, what images come to mind, what feelings surface. Don't necessarily force anything. This is like meditation in motion for your Piscean mental body. Your emotional body is being asked to feel everything without boundaries this week. And it is both beautiful and a little bit dangerous. Venus in Pisces is unconditional love, compassion, oneness. But the shadow is martyrdom, losing yourselves in others' pains, drowning in collective grief. I think we all know what that feels like right now. You need to feel deeply without losing yourself. The waning crescent is already loosening everything, softening the edges, making you more permeable. Your emotional body needs medicine that honors that permeability while still being able to hold you together. Now, some foods that can help you with that, and this is one of my favorite treats: Greek yogurt with honey and figs. Figs have ancient sacred associations, and honey is sweet medicine for the heart. Yogurt provides probiotics that support the gut brain and gut heart connection. 90% of serotonin is made in the gut, and this combination is cooling and soothing and nourishing, exactly what your emotional body needs when Venus in Pisces threatens to overwhelm you. Add a drizzle of rose water if you have it. And then chickpea stew with tomatoes and cinnamon. From Mediterranean traditions, chickpeas are grounding and heart nourishing. Tomatoes are cooling. Cinnamon is warming and comforting. This stew is emotionally soothing food. It feels like a hug. You cook chickpeas with garlic and olive oil and tomatoes and a cinnamon stick and some sea salt. Eat slowly, mindfully. This is food that holds you when your emotions are intense. You could make an herbal tea blend with rose petals and chamomile and lemon balm. Rose is the heart herb. It opens the heart while protecting it. Chamomile soothes anger and impatience under stress, and lemon balm uplifts and calms simultaneously. Blend them together as a tea and sip it throughout the day. Add a little bit of honey. This is literally liquid emotional medicine. Now, as far as herbs for your emotional body, garlic. It is a heart protective medicine that goes way beyond what most people realize. It is Saturn and Mars medicine, which means it's both structure and fire, protection and activation. It strengthens the cardiovascular system, it supports circulation. It has been used across Mediterranean traditions for multiple millennia as medicine for the heart, both physically and emotionally. Garlic holds you through the Venus and Pisces intensity without the heaviness that some heart herbs bring. It's grounded, it's ancient, it's in your blood through your ancestry. Cook it into everything this week. Let it be your emotional anchor. And then hibiscus. Hibiscus is cooling and Venus ruled and deeply heart opening. It's gorgeous and tart. It tastes alive. Hibiscus supports circulation and helps your emotional body flow instead of stagnate. When Venus in Pisces threatens to dissolve your boundaries entirely, hibiscus keeps the blood moving. It keeps emotion circulating through rather than allowing you to pool and be overwhelmed. And it's the herb that says, feel it and let it move through. Make hibiscus tea, drink it cold or warm. Let the deep red color remind you of the heart's vitality. This is emotional medicine that honors both feeling and flow. And then chamomile. Chamomile is especially beneficial for those experiencing anger and impatience under stress. When Pisces energy brings up everything, collective pain, ancestral grief, your own suppressed emotions, chamomile says you're safe. You can feel this and you will not be destroyed by it. A simple cup of chamomile tea before bed or during any kind of emotional intensity will be extremely beneficial. EFT tapping for boundary work. This practice works with meridians to release stuck emotional energy. Use the basic protocol. Tap on the meridian points while saying, even though Venus in Pisces is dissolving my boundaries and I am feeling everyone's pain, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I'm afraid of drowning in emotion, I choose to feel without losing myself. This practice helps your emotional body release overwhelm and reclaim your sovereignty. Next would be a loving kindness meditation. Sit quietly, place your hand on your heart, and say silently, may I be held in love. May I feel deeply without drowning. May I have compassion for myself as well as others. May my heart be both open and protected. Repeat it for 5 to 10 minutes. This practice trains your emotional body to hold both compassion and boundaries, both of which are essential skills, especially for Venus and Pisces. And then you could do a grief ritual with water. Pisces is a water sign, and water carries emotion. Fill a bowl with water, light a candle. Let yourself weep, not for any specific reason, just any kind of grief. Let it move. You might be feeling collective pain, ancestral trauma, or your own unprocessed emotions. Let the tears fall into the water. When complete, pour the water onto the earth outside, releasing what is not yours. The waning crescent is already asking everything to release. Let your tears be a part of that surrender. Now, your energetic body is navigating porosity this week. Pisces dissolves boundaries. You're more open, more permeable, more sensitive to others' energies or collective frequencies and the spiritual realms. And this is beautiful for receiving downloads and feeling connected to everything. But it's dangerous if you're not able to maintain sovereign energetic space. And here's the thing. Sovereignty doesn't have to be a wall. It can be a ritual, a practice, a way of consciously moving through the threshold between dark and light, surrender and initiation, release and rebirth. Now, some foods that can help you with this: seaweed salad with sesame oil and citrus. Seaweed comes from the ocean, but is incredibly grounding and mineral dense. Minerals conduct energy through your physical form. When you are working with high frequency downloads, which is exactly what Mercury conjunct the North Node is, minerals will help that energy anchor in. Sesame oil is nourishing and protective. This food helps you stay connected to the spiritual realms while maintaining your energetic integrity. Soul water. Soul water is water that is saturated with Himalayan or sea salt, sipped first thing in the morning. Salt grounds your spiritual energy and helps you maintain those energetic boundaries. Pisces makes you floaty. Salt brings you back to earth while providing the minerals that conduct spiritual downloads through your body. You make soul water by filling a jar 1/4 full with salt and adding water. Let it sit overnight. Now, every morning, you're going to take 1 teaspoon in a glass of water. That's it. Next would be olive oil with garlic and herbs. Olive oil is deeply nourishing to your energetic field. Garlic is protective and strengthening. Herbs like oregano and thyme are aromatic and they're clearing. Make a simple dipping oil, some really good green olive oil, crushed garlic, dried oregano, sea salt. Use this on bread or vegetables throughout the week. It is food that literally nourishes your energetic field. Now, let's talk about some herbs. Yarrow. Yarrow is the herb for energetic protection and boundary repair. It seals the holes in your aura. It protects you from absorbing others' energy and helps you to discern what's yours and what you're picking up from the collective. Now, during Pisces season, heading into an eclipse, yarrow is essential medicine for empaths and sensitive people. You can take it as a tincture or a tea, especially before going to crowded spaces. Then reishi. Reishi strengthens your Wei Qi. It's your protective energy field in Chinese. It helps you access higher consciousness while staying grounded and protected. Reishi supports spiritual practices without burning you out. You can take it as a decoction. You can take it as a dual extraction tincture throughout the week. And then frankincense. Frankincense has been used for thousands of years in spiritual practice across cultures. It raises your frequency. It supports meditation and prayer. It clears energetic space. As you're receiving downloads and working with Venus and Pisces, frankincense purifies your field and helps you access higher consciousness while staying grounded. Burn it as a resin or use essential oil in a diffuser. You will be amazed at how much difference it makes. Now, this is going to be your anchor practice for the week. And it is exactly what this moment in the cosmic cycle is asking for. It's called a liminal ritual. So I want you to wake before dawn. Find a spot outside or by the window where you can see both the sky and the horizon. First, look up. Find the waning crescent. Sit with her. She is surrendering. She is releasing everything that's complete, everything that has served its purpose, everything that needs to go before the new can come. Breathe with her. Let yourself feel what you are releasing this week. Don't name it, just feel it. And then sit in the darkness between. The moon fades. The sun is not yet risen. This is the liminal space. This is exactly where the eclipse will take you on the 17th, the in between, the threshold, the held breath of the universe between one world and the next. Sit here, be here, don't rush it, and then watch the sunrise. Feel the quickening, feel Imbolc's promise, feel Saturn and Aries initiation beginning. Feel the light returning, not because darkness was defeated, but because the cycle completed itself. You literally just witnessed an entire eclipse in miniature, surrender and rebirth in one sitting. Do this practice once this week, ideally on the morning of the 13th when Saturn enters Aries, so that you carry that liminal awareness into the initiation. And then we want to do a release. After your liminal ritual, or at any point during the day when you feel energetically overwhelmed or porous, this practice grounds and clears. Stand or sit with your spine straight. Place your hand on your sternum, close to your thymus. Take 3 deep breaths, then begin to tone. Let the sound rise from your belly, through your chest, and out of your mouth. It doesn't have to be a note. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It just has to be yours. And as you tone, begin tapping on your sternum rhythmically with your fingertips, not hard, just firm enough to feel. Let the vibration of your voice meet the tapping of your hand. Feel them working together. The sound moves what's stuck. The tapping strengthens what's depleted. Your voice is doing the medicine. This week, with Mercury conjunct the North Node, your voice is aligned to your soul's purpose. Continue this for as long as it feels right. When you stop, place both hands over your heart. Take 3 breaths and actually feel into the space that's been created. This is energetic sovereignty that lives in your body, not around it. Now, your spiritual body is being given direct communication this week about your path and your purpose. Mercury conjunct the North Node in Pisces on February 12th is a fated moment. Your soul is speaking to you about why you incarnated, what you came here to do, and what wants to be born through you. But you have to be quiet enough to hear it. And the waning crescent, the darkest, most surrendered phase of the moon, right before an eclipse portal, is giving you exactly that quiet. The universe is creating conditions. All you have to do is show up. Now, when we're talking about foods for the spiritual body, at this point, any food that is prepared with prayer. So any food will become sacred if it is prepared with intention, offered with gratitude. This week, cook as a ritual. Bless your ingredients. Thank the plants and the earth and the hands that brought this food to you. Stir it with intention. Eat in silence or with prayer. You're not just consuming calories, you are participating in a sacred relationship with the divine through the act of eating. Next would be fasting or a simplified diet. So consider eating very simply on February 12th, which is the day of the Mercury North Node conjunction. Just fruit or a vegetable soup or a mono diet of just rice and vegetables. From spiritual traditions across cultures, fasting and simple eating is used to create internal space, quiets your physical body so that your spiritual body can speak more clearly. Now, if full fasting isn't safe for you, eat mindfully and minimally to create spaciousness for those downloads. Honey and warm water before bed. So, honey has been offered to deities across cultures and is often called the food of gods in many traditions. Warm water with honey before bed on February 12th opens you to receive spiritual guidance through your dreams. This is an ancient practice for preparing the body and the soul for divine communication through the dream state. Next, let's talk about some herbs. I highly recommend some blue lotus this week. Blue lotus is a sacred visionary herb used in ancient Egyptian spirituality. It gently opens up the consciousness. It supports meditation and altered states and facilitates connection with the divine. It doesn't force visions, but it definitely invites them. Work with Blue Lotus ceremonially on February 12th as tea, as tincture in sacred space, and ask to receive your soul's message. This is plant medicine for soul level work. And then lavender. Lavender is calming. It opens the crown chakra and is traditionally used in dream pillows and spiritual work. It helps quiet mental chatter and creates a receptive space for any kind of spiritual downloads. Lavender helps you release control and surrender to what wants to come through. You can drink it as a tea before bed on February 12th. You could place dried lavender under your pillow or anoint your third eye and crown with the essential oil. This is gentle medicine for receiving soul guidance without forcing it. And then ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is adaptogenic and supports embodied spirituality. It builds strength and resilience, which is exactly what we're going to need as Saturn enters Aries. Ashwagandha helps you take sustained action on your spiritual purpose without burning out. Your physical existence is sacred. It is not something that we're trying to transcend. You can work with ashwagandha as a tea or a tincture to integrate spiritual downloads into embodied action and long-term commitment. This is the herb that says your soul's work happens in your body, not in spite of it. Then a couple of practices that could help with this would be a soul purpose meditation. On the day that Mercury conjuncts the North Node, create some sacred space, light candles, burn incense like frankincense or lavender, turn off all your devices, sit in meditation for at least 20 minutes and ask directly, what did I come here to do? What is it that wants to be born through me? What is my purpose? And don't force the answers. Just sit there in receptive silence. Listen. After your meditation, then write down everything that came through. Images, words, feelings, sensations. Even if it feels impossible, even if it seems terrifying, your soul is speaking. The waning crescent and the approaching eclipse are thinning the veil between you and your truth. And then plant spirit communication. You can communicate directly with plant spirits. Choose one of the herbs you're working with this week. Lavender or blue lotus feel especially aligned. Hold the dried herb in your hands, close your eyes, and let your awareness drop from your head into your heart. Feel into the plant's presence. Ask, what medicine do you have for me? What are you here to teach me? And then wait in receptive silence. Notice what arises: images, feelings, words, sensations, knowing. When you feel that it's complete, thank the plant. This is an ancient practice for receiving plant wisdom directly. And then finally, on the day Saturn enters Aries, create a ritual of commitment to your soul's path. After the downloads you received on the 12th, now you would make a vow. Write what it is that you are committing to, not vague hopes, but specific practices and actions that you are going to be working on for the next few years of Saturn in Aries. Read it out loud, sign it, date it like a contract. Place it somewhere on your altar or somewhere where you'll see it daily. This is not manifestation or vision boarding. This is vow taking. Saturn in Aries asks, are you willing to do the work that your soul came here to do? Now, if you do this committal ritual, the eclipse on the 17th will seal it. Here's what you need to understand about the 5 bodies framework. They are not separate. They are one system expressing through 5 different dimensions. When you eat seaweed and olive oil, you're not just feeding your physical body. You're providing minerals that ground spiritual downloads into matter. When you practice automatic writing and dream work, you're not just accessing your mental body, you're clearing the channel for your soul's voice to speak. And when you let yourself weep into water and work with garlic and hibiscus, you're not just releasing from your emotional body, you're letting your heart feel and flow at the same time without drowning. When you stand in the pre-dawn darkness and tone into your sternum, you're not just clearing your energetic body. You are practicing the exact threshold that the eclipse is about to take you through. Surrender and rebirth in one breath. When you listen in meditation and make vows to your purpose, you're not just connecting to your spiritual body. You are remembering why you incarnated here in the first place. It's all connected. It's all one. This week is the preparation. The waning crescent is surrendering everything that's complete. The sun is quickening after Imbolc, and 3 transits are aligning to prepare you for something that you can't fully see yet. Venus in Pisces is opening your heart to unconditional love and is teaching you how to feel without losing yourself. Mercury conjunct the North Node is giving you literal direct communication from your soul about your purpose. And then Saturn in Aries is going to begin a 3-year initiation into disciplined self-mastery and courageous action. It's all building towards this new moon. So this week, your work is to surrender what's complete. Let the waning crescent do what she does. Let go of what no longer serves. Listen, especially on February 12th. Create space to hear what your soul is trying to tell you and commit. On February 13th, make a vow to yourself and to your soul's path. Commit to that you're willing to do the work for the next 3 years. You have been through Pluto's underworld. You have ignited your inner fire at Imbolc. You have claimed your sovereignty under the Leo full moon. Now the moon is waning and the light is returning. And the eclipse is coming. Are you ready to let the old timeline die so that the new one can be born? The universe is about to show you what's been hidden. It's going to collapse what's complete. It's going to accelerate what is fading. And you don't get to control it. You just get to trust it. Eat food with intention. Work with plant allies. Stand in the pre-dawn darkness and tone your sovereignty back into your body. Listen to your soul's purpose. And when that eclipse hits on February 17th, when the sun and moon align and the cosmic portal opens, you will be ready because you've done the work. You've tended all 5 bodies. You have prepared yourself. The old world is releasing and the new one is being born. And you're not here by accident. If you want personalized protocols for your unique 5 bodies based on your chart and constitution, check the link in the description. I would be honored to walk this path with you. This is Living the Wheel, where we follow the cycles of nature and the cosmos and the wisdom of the 5 bodies to navigate this human experience with ancient knowledge and embodied practice. If this resonated, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who needs to hear this. Comment below and tell me what your soul is revealing to you this week. I read every single comment. And remember, you're not alone in this transformation. Until next week, may you surrender to what's trying to be born. I'm Danielle, and I'll see you in the next one.